2.5 to 3 pound chicken. And there's a number of ways you can cut this up. I like to, pardon me, I like to cut it up relatively small for this dish so that it cooks evenly. If the sizes are more consistent with each other, they will cook more evenly. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure there's not a lot of fat, there's no innards inside, and there's not. If there were, you'd cut the excess fat off like this, and then just discard it. Can I take this off here? Will you be able to see a little bit? Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is kind of stand him on his head, and I'm going to make a cut right down the side of this backbone. You could just cut it right down the middle, leave the backbone in, but I'm going to cut the backbone out for today's meal. So you just cut right alongside the backbone, and that's the way it's going to look. Now you've got the other side with the backbone. Take and push down like this, sort of butterfly it. And then you've got the cartilage here, okay, the cartilage. You're going to take your knife and go exactly right in the middle of that cartilage. And just sort of make sure that it's nice and firmly pressed against there. And with a one pop, just give it a pop with the heel of your hand and split that right in half. Now you've got two halves. We still want to get rid of this other, or the backbone, so I'm just going to cut along the side here, like this. And you can obviously have your butcher do that, and then I take the backbone off the same way, just smack it with the heel of my hand. And then this is good for if you're making chicken stock. You can actually keep this in the freezer until you have a number of them, and you can make chicken stock with this. Today I'm actually going to use it in the dish. Now it's not going to be really edible. I mean, there are going to be little bits and pieces that you can chew off the bone, but for the most part, this is going to be unedible. But it's going to add flavor to the dish, so we'll just throw it in with the dish. You got to be careful there's any little pieces of bone, because you don't want people to bite into those. Okay, so then you've got your chicken half, and I usually just separate the thigh and the drumstick by slicing it in half like that. You see okay? Everybody seeing? Okay. So again, just slice the thigh and the drumstick off of the breast, separate them. And then what I do is usually cut the breast in half too, and then that way I have two pieces of breast. Do that the same way with the heel of my hand. And you want to kind of have a utility knife to do that. You don't want your best knife to break up your chicken bones. And if you want to, you can saw through till you feel the bones, and then give it a little snap. And then what I do with the thigh and the drumstick is if you just cut the drumstick off where it looks like it should be cut off, the drumstick's going to be real little and the thigh is going to be real big. So I generally try and cut it off like in here. It's a little bit harder to cut off there, but then you have sizes that are more equal. So I move it up you can see I'm going to move it up the thigh just a little bit. And again, the same thing, you can start sawing through it and snap it with the heel of your hand. Same thing with the other one. Yeah, if you want to put a towel or something over so you don't, I've done this a few times.
Yeah, right.
Once or twice. So, that's our 8 pieces of chicken. That's enough for 4 people. Or, you know, if you're a light eater, it's enough for 8, I guess. But for me, I would eat 2 pieces of this, and I would split it up so that you get a piece of dark meat and a piece of white meat. And I'm just going to put this in a pan here.